What's going on, guys? Emmanuel Jones here. We back at with another prediction, our weekly prediction. And this time we'll be doing our week 17 predictions for this week, and we're halfway done to the regular season. So last week I went 12-4, which I did pretty good, and my overall record is 165-75. So before I get to the video of my week 17 prediction, don't forget. Feel free to like the video by putting a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more options, and comment down your opinion below to see who you got winning week 17. So anyway, Christmas is over with. So basically, I chose the Steelers to win 27-24, and they lost 29-10. I chose the Ravens to win 23-16, and they won 31-2. And then I chose the Seahawks to beat the Bears 30-13, and they won 6-3. So basically, I'm 2-1 right now. So let's get started with the rest of the games because we're not going to predict anything that happened. Okay, so we got the Saturday games. We got the Los Angeles Chargers facing against the New England Patriots. The Chargers are favored by 5.5. Obviously, this is a game that can totally go either way. Um, the Chargers are coming off a Thursday game win against the Broncos, while the Patriots are totally coming off a close loss against the Bills. Now, I thought the Patriots really stayed competitive in that game. I thought their offense really moved the ball really well. Defensively, I thought they found a way to get some stops at the end, but their defense barely can stop the run. But I don't think their defense is good as Chargers. But I feel like the Chargers have a better defense, in my opinion, because they can get some pressure, they can stop the pass, which I don't really know. I don't really know what their ranking is. Maybe it's yards per attempt. Now, I would like to say that the Patriots do play the Chargers tough though, but I think the Patriots defense can totally keep them in this game though, which I think they'll find a way to at least like get pressure on Herbert. Like maybe they can give Herbert a tough time, and again, the Patriots offense, I don't think it's as good as the Chargers though, but I feel like the Chargers offense is more explosive because Lad McConkey is looking to be the next great receiver, but even though their receiving core stinks, but here's the thing, I think it will be closer though. But I feel like, it can be competitive. But I feel like if J.K. Dobbins come back, I think that can probably help the Chargers running game, which I think they'll find a way to run the ball better than the Patriots because I don't think the Patriots running game is all that great. So basically, I think the game will be close and competitive. But like I said, but at the end of the day, I'm going with the Chargers. I got the Chargers winning this game because the Chargers are the more complete team and have the better quarterback and better coach. So yeah, and they pretty much have a better defense as well. I mean, I wouldn't trust a rookie quarterback against one of the best defenses in the NFL and the Chargers. Especially the Chargers have one of the best scoring defenses in the NFL. And I feel like Mack and Bosa will be a problem. And they pretty much have a great secondary that can really play some sticky coverage against an underwhelming receiving core of the Patriots. So yeah. So I got the Chargers winning, but I'll take the 5.5 with New England. If this was 5, I would take the Chargers to cover, but I think 5.5. I'm leaning towards New England because I think New England will stay in this game. I do expect it to be low scoring a little bit. So I'm probably gonna say like maybe I say the Chargers win like 20, like maybe 24-21, 24-23, 24-16, something like that. So yeah, I'll take the Chargers to win and the Patriots to cover. Next game we have the Denver Broncos versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 3.5. This is another game that can go either way. The Bengals are totally on a hot streak right now, and the Broncos are coming off a loss against the Chargers on Thursday. This game right here can go either way. I know most people are on the Broncos because the Broncos are looking to clinch a playoff berth for the first time since 2015, and the Bengals are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. Mm, Obviously, this is a tough one, but you know a rookie's on the road, which is kind of tough environment. Cincinnati is pretty much an underrated at home. I like how the way Cincinnati is playing as an offense. Joe Burrow has like 39 touchdown passes right now. So he could totally be the MVP because he's staying healthy and he's playing one of the best games of his career. Like I said, the Bengals are very explosive on offense because they can run the ball, they can throw the ball. Um, Offensive line is playing great, and the defense, it's been a little up and down, but they're getting better. So yeah, while the Broncos, they're getting better on both sides of the ball as well. Obviously, I feel like it is gonna come down to who's gonna like coach better in this game, who's gonna have a better game plan. Like I think that the Broncos could totally have a better game plan, which I like to see them have a good game plan against against Joe Burrow. But I feel like if Vance Joseph finds a way to confuse Burrow, but I think the Broncos can win this game. But I have a feeling that the Broncos defense can totally give them a tough time. But the Bengals defense could give Bo Nix a tough time, especially if long as Big Lou, can blitz Bo Nix. I think he'll find a way to at least give the Bengals a victory. But I think this game right here is going to be close and competitive, though. But I don't know if I really have faith in the Broncos offense to do enough to win this game because I think their receiving core is a little bit outside of Cortland Sutton and is really not great. So I'm going to lean towards the Bengals to win this game. And the reason for that is that I feel like the Bengals need this win so they can keep their playoff hopes alive because the Bengals could look to clinch a playoff berth if they win out the next two games, depending on if Denver and the Colts and the Dolphins do. So yeah, I think the Bengals win because they're at home. They got the better quarterback. So yeah, so I'm leaning towards the Bengals to win, but give me the Broncos with the points. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think the Bengals are going to win by a field goal. I'm probably going to say like 30-27, something like that. Or maybe like 23-20, something like that. Maybe more like a lower scoring game or a higher scoring game. So, yeah. So, I lean towards the Broncos with the points, but I'll take the Bengals to win this game. Hopefully, they do win this game so that they can keep their playoff hopes alive. Because I'd rather see Joe Burrow in the playoffs more than I see Bo Nix. Next game, we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are favored by 6.5. Obviously, the Cardinals are coming off a loss against the Panthers in overtime, while the Rams, they're hot right now and they're on a 3-game winning streak. The Cardinals did get eliminated from the playoffs, after losing to Carolina overtime. So, yeah. Obviously, last time when these two teams play, I mean, the Cardinals did destroy them. But I don't see it happening again because I think the Rams should split the season series like they always do. I think they should split with the Rams. So I think the Rams should win this game because they're at home. They got the better quarterback, better coaching. They're the more complete team. And, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp are just going to be too much for the Cardinals defense to handle. So is Kyron Williams, though, which I think they'll run the ball. They'll throw the ball. And Higbee coming back helps. So I think their offense should have a good game here. Defensively, they're playing better. I think they'll find a way to at least confuse Kyler Murray in the running and passing game. Maybe they can get some pressure on him. So yeah, especially their Rams defense is playing excellent right now. They're playing some good ball. So yeah, I mean the Cardinals probably not gonna have much to play for because they already got eliminated from the playoffs and they're not gonna make the playoffs. And the Rams are looking to get back in the playoffs once again. They could look to clinch the NFC West, depending on what Seattle does. So I feel like because I feel like if the Rams lose, I feel like they'll be 9-7 as well, and the Seahawks will be 9-7, while the Seahawks is 9-7. So yeah, but I feel like if the Rams win, it'll probably keep the door open for them to win the division. But I'm picking the Rams to win because I think their offense is just going to be too much for the Cardinals' defense to handle. Especially the Cardinals don't have a pass rush, and their secondary is not great. So I don't think they'll do enough to slow down the Rams offense. But yeah, the Rams defense can be soft at times, but I just don't see how the Cardinals are going to be able to move the ball. See how the Cardinals defense can be able to slow down the Rams receiving core and Kyron Williams. So yeah. So basically, that's exactly why I'm taking the Rams to win. But I'll also take the Rams to cover as well. Even though it's 6.5, I'm taking them both ways. I think the Rams win. I think they're gonna win by a touchdown, maybe 30-19, 30-21, or 30-21, or maybe 20. Maybe they win 28-21, 28-23. Maybe they win by one score. Maybe they win by a touchdown. So yeah, I'll take the Rams both ways. All right, next game we have the New York Jets versus Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 9.5. Now 9 is a big number. Now obviously I got the Bills win this game and the Bills to cover. And the reason why is that the Bills are a more complete team, better quarterback, better coaching. They're at home. They're I mean, the Bills, they have more to play for because they already clinched the playoffs, and the Jets, they could be playing for next year, and since they got eliminated from the playoffs, so yeah, and also all of a sudden, Devontae Adams could be questionable due to an injury. Um, so yeah. So I think the Bills, they pretty much have a better defense as well, which I think their defense will make more stops than the Jets. Especially the Jets do suck on the road in Buffalo, because I believe they do. And the Bills, have an explosive offense. They'll run the ball on the Jets because I think the Jets' run defense is not great. They'll run it with James Cook and Josh Allen. He's going to make some magic happen in Buffalo for the fans. And the Bills, I thought they looked it pretty poor in that first half, and all of a sudden they end up coming back against the Patriots. So yeah, defensively, I think they pretty much can find a way to play some man coverage. Maybe they'll cover Garrett Wilson. They have a good passer that can get out there, Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets' offense is totally not playing its best right now. So obviously, even though the spread is big at 9.5, I'm still taking the Bills to cover, but I'm taking them to win as well. I'm probably gonna say maybe 24-17, something like that. Maybe they win by one score, maybe they win by two scores, depending on how well the Jets offense performs. Because if the Jets offense doesn't show up, I think the Bills will find a way to get up and blow them out. So yeah, so I will take the Bills both ways. I will take the Bills to win and the Bills to cover. Next game we have the Dallas Cowboys versus Philadelphia Eagles. Philly is fair by 7.5, which that's a big number. Obviously, this game right here is, is it's gonna be two backup quarterbacks playing against each other. Because I heard that Jalen Hurts might not play due to an injury because he hasn't practiced all week. Also heard the news that CeeDee Lamb is shut down for the year, which that's a huge blow to their offense. AJ Brown's been banged up due to an injury, so I highly doubt he'll play. I thought the Eagles, could have at least beaten the Commanders, though, but it all came down to the defense choking at the end, where Jaden Daniels at least delivers a game-winning drive. I don't know if I see it happening against Dallas. Now, Dallas defense is playing better. Their offense is playing better. I like how the way they're run the football better. So yeah, but obviously, I think the Dallas Cowboys will find a way to keep it close in this game because last time when these two teams played, the Eagles blew them out. But I don't know if the same is going to happen to this game because usually Dallas usually beats Philly, but Dallas already got eliminated from the playoffs, and I don't really see how they're gonna be able to beat Philly because Philly's totally on the roll right now. They're playing some good ball. And the Dallas Cowboys, the Cowboys are playing better football as well. So yeah. Because I think the Eagles. I feel like they'll run the ball, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to pass the ball enough because Kenny Pickett has not been good since Pittsburgh. Maybe they'll throw it a little bit. Maybe they'll run it a little bit a lot. But I don't really know because Dallas defense is playing better right now. Philly's defense is pretty solid, but I feel like they're gonna stop the run the Cowboys. I think their secondary can play some sticky coverage against an underwhelming receiving core of Dallas because I don't know who's gonna step up as the number one receiver. It's gonna be Vontae Turpin, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert. Who knows? They got Jake Ferguson as a good tight end. Maybe they got to get Rico Dowdle going. I don't really know, but I'll still take the Eagles to win because they have more to play for. And Dallas is probably going to play for next year because they're probably not going to be a playoff team. And the Eagles are looking to clinch that top seed in the NFC. Eagles are just a better team overall. So, yeah. I'll take the Eagles to win. I'll take 7.5 with the Cowboys. I mean, if this was Jalen Hurts, I'll take the Eagles both ways. But if it's not Jalen Hurts, I'll probably take the Cowboys to cover. But now, since I found that Hurts is not playing, I'm taking Dallas with the points because I feel like 7.5 is a lot. So I'm probably gonna say the Eagles win 23-17, something like that. Maybe more like a higher scoring game, or maybe 24-16, 17-16, something like that. I think this could totally be a lower scoring game. So yeah. So by the way, I will take the Eagles to win and the Cowboys to cover. All right, next game we have Las Vegas Raiders versus New Orleans Saints. The Raiders are favored at 1.5. Obviously, this game right here can totally go either way. Now, if the Saints get some of their offensive players back, I could totally lean towards New Orleans. If they don't, I might pick the Raiders though. But you know what though? The Saints, literally did not really score any points against the Packers. They literally didn't though. They got shut out. They got shut out by the Packers. They couldn't move the ball. Offensively, they were terrible, and defensively, they were terrible too. And the Raiders' offense, it's not good, but I feel like their offense can find a way to at least get it going against a Saints defense that's not great. And I think the Raiders, offensively, I think the Raiders, can find a way to at least find some success here. I feel like Brock Bowers can have a good game. If Jacoby Myers can. I don't think they can run the ball as well. Offensive line is not. I mean, the defense is totally good, but it's not great. But I have a feeling that the Raiders defense can totally give the Saints offense a lot of trouble, especially with an injured offense of the Saints. Because I feel like that offense of the Saints will be no match for a Raiders pass rush, which I think the Raiders defense can totally give the Saints offense a tough time. But now I found that Kamara might not play, Derek Carr might not play. Maybe Chris Olave comes back, maybe to help their passing game. But at the same time, I know it's in a dome, but I'm going Raiders here to win. And the reason for that is that the Raiders got the more experienced quarterback, which I think Aiden O'Connell is better than Spencer Rattler. I think their coaching is a little bit better than the Saints. I feel like Antonio Pierce will get his guys going. So yeah, I like the Raiders here. I like the Raiders to win. I'll take them to cover as well. This should be a fun game. It shouldn't be fun to watch, but I'm gonna say Raiders win 20-17. Saints 16. Is my final score. 2016. Raiders win. Raiders cover. So yeah, I like the Raiders here. Next game we have the Indianapolis Colts against the New York Giants. The Colts are favored by 7.5. Obviously, this game right here can totally go either way. Um, the Giants are totally on a 10-game lose streak, while the Colts, have come off a blowout win against a big win against the Titans, where Jonathan Taylor really had his best game in his career, and he had 215 yards, and they rushed for over 300 yards. So yeah, I like how the way the Colts. I like how the way they played as an offense on Sunday against the Titans. I thought they ran the ball really well, but they weren't able to throw it much. I thought their running game was really good, and I think the offense. Now, could the same thing happen to the Giants? Yeah, because the Giants' defense is not great. Like, they can't stop the run, they can't stop the pass. And Anthony Richardson, he's not good as a passer. But I also heard that he's on the injury report, so if he's not good to go, it could be Joe Flacco. But I'm assuming that he could play. I don't know, but maybe now the news saying that Anthony Richardson won't get ruled out because despite a not full practice. So yeah, I feel like Anthony Richardson is going to be too much for the Giants to handle, and that's why I'm taking the Colts to win and the Colts to cover. The Colts are the better team, have a better quarterback. Their coaching is better, and I think their offense will have a good game here. I feel like Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and Alec Pierce is going to be too much for the Giants secondary to handle. I need to see them pass the ball more. I mean, they have a better old line, so they'll block more. And their defensive line is way better. You can say their defensive line, they're both even, but the Giants don't have a good offensive line. I think the Giants' defensive line can totally give them a problem here. So, yeah. Because a bad offensive line against a good defensive line is just a terrible matchup. So, yeah. With that being said, those are all those reasons. I will take the Colts both ways. I will take the Colts to win and the Colts to cover. I think this game right here is going to be I think it could be a blowout though. Well, so I think the Colts. I don't see them being a blowout though. I think the Giants can stay in the game. I think their defense will play better in this game. I think the Colts win like maybe a 23-20 or like a 27-23 or like 2017-16, 27-16, something like that. So yeah, I like the Colts both ways. So yeah. Next game we have the Carolina Panthers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucks are favored by 8. Obviously, if the Bucks win this game, I feel like they'll totally be 9-7, and they totally win division depending on what Atlanta does. Because I feel like if Tampa Bay wins out, they win the division. If Atlanta wins out, because depending on what Atlanta does, obviously I got the Bucks winning, but I won't take them to cover because the Bucks defense is not great, and Bryce Young's playing better football. So I think the Panthers offense will find a formula to move the ball against a bad defense of the Buccaneers. Because last week, offensively against the Cardinals, they moved the ball really well. Bryce Young was making some big throws. He's being patient with the ball. The defense is playing better. So yeah. So if the Bucks lose this game, their season could be over, which I don't really know. So yeah, but I'm taking the Bucks to win because they have the better quarterback and they got the better coach and they're a more complete team and they're at home. And because I think the game will be close and competitive though. So yeah. So I feel like Mike Evans is going to be too much for the Panthers secondary to handle because I don't think the Panthers pass defense is great. Baker should have a good game here. He should play well in this game. He didn't play well against the Cowboys, but it all came down to the turnover late in the fourth quarter where the Bucks could have easily won. But I feel like Tampa Bay should get back on track this week and win. But I'll take Carolina to cover, but it will be close though. I don't see the Bucks really blowing them out unless they get up early. Because I feel like if the Bucks get up early, they can totally blow the Panthers out. So I'm probably going to say the Bucks win like 2017, 17-13, something like that. More like a lower scoring game. So yeah. I like the Bucks to win. I'll take the Panthers to cover. So yeah. Next game we have the Tennessee Titans versus Jacksonville Jaguars. This is another toilet bowl game. The Tennessee Titans are favored by a point. So yeah, it could go either way because both these two teams suck. Um, you know, yeah. But in terms of the talent, I feel like the Titans offense could be better. But Jacksonville's defense is playing a little bit better, but I don't think it's great. Mac Jones is playing really good. I mean, he's making some big time throws. I mean, this is totally a game where Jacksonville can win because it's in Jacksonville and they're good at home. But at the same time, Tennessee, kind of plays them tough though. Now, I feel like that Will Lev. I don't know who's playing quarterback. It's going to be Mason Rudolph or it's going to be Will Levis. If it's Mason Rudolph, it could totally get him a boost because Will Levis is not playing good. So yeah, so basically though, I think the Titans offense. Maybe they'll get Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears going. Maybe they get Calvin Ridley going because this could be the Calvin Ridley revenge game. So yeah, but I think the Titans defense is a little bit better than Jacksonville's a little bit, but I thought the Titans defense totally got exposed last week. Like basically the Titans defense was very soft last week because here's the thing. They gave up over 300 rushing yards to the Colts because Jonathan Taylor was tearing them apart. Now, could their run defense play better this game? I don't know. We'll see. But their rushing offense is pretty strong. Maybe they get Tony Pollard going a little bit. Maybe he has a good game. I don't know. But at the same time, both these two teams should split. So I'm going to take the Titans to win. But I'm going with Jacksonville to cover. I'm going to say the Titans win and cover. I think the Titans could be a better version than the Jags. And I just have a feeling Tony Pollard can have a good game. And I think their defense can totally win them this game as well. So I see this being a lower scoring game. I'm probably gonna say maybe 19-16. Maybe they win by a field goal. Or maybe they win by the defense getting a stop. So yeah. Yeah. I'll be back. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So here we are. So basically, I got the Titans winning and covering. but it will be a lower score. I'm gonna say Jacksonville covers, keep it close, because Jacksonville kind of stayed in the game against Las Vegas because they only lost by 5. So I'm gonna say the Titans win by 3 this time. So I got Titans win, Jags cover. Next game we have the Miami Dolphins against the Cleveland Browns. Miami's favored by 6.5. Obviously, this game's in Cleveland again. Now, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Is it going to be Jameis Winston or it's going to be Dorian Thompson-Robinson? Obviously, if it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I feel like Miami is going to blow them out. Because basically the Browns did not look pretty good against the Bengals last week, and the offense did struggle last week. So, yeah. But as I know that, I will take the Dolphins to win because they have the better quarterback, and they're the better team, and they have the better offense. But I don't really know if I'll take the 6.5 with the points though with Miami. I don't know if Miami's going to cover. I mean, depending on the weather, if it's raining, maybe the Browns cover. But at the same time, I don't really see how the Browns going to be able to move the ball effectively. I think effectively really well because I feel like the Dolphins should be able to stop the run and load the box to force the Browns' offense into some terrible mistakes. And Miami's secondary is pretty strong. They'll find a way to cover against the Browns receiving core. Now, David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy is questionable to play because if those guys don't play, it'll totally hurt their whole offense. And, Nick Chubb, like I said, he's out for the year, so I don't think the Browns will be able to run the ball as much. The Dolphins, offensively, they're more explosive in the passing game. I feel like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are just two. Those guys are just going to be terrible to cover. Those guys are going to be tough to cover a little bit. Even though the Browns have a good secondary, despite them having a good secondary, I think they'll find a way to win their one-on-one matchup because I feel like one of their top weapons is banged up. Because if Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill both play, I feel like the offense will find a way to at least win a one-on-one match, and especially Jonnu Smith. He's been great. So yeah. So on top of that, I think Miami should be able to put up some points, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to put up 30 against the Browns defense because the Browns defense is good at home, but I don't really know because it just depends on how well the Browns defense will find a way to give Tua a tough time. So, by the way, giving the Dolphins to win. If it's rain, I'll take the Browns to cover, but I don't know about the weather, but I feel like it's not going to be rain, so I'll take the Dolphins to cover as well. So I'll take the Dolphins both ways. I'll take the Dolphins to win and cover. I'm going to say I'm probably going to say the Dolphins win probably 27-16 or 23 to 13. Maybe they win by double digits. So yeah, I'll take the Dolphins to win and cover. All right, next game we have the Green Bay Packers against the Minnesota Vikings. The Green Bay Packers the line keeps changing so much. I don't know why, but Minnesota is favored by 1.5. The Packers are underdogs in this game. I don't know. Now, I don't know why the line keeps changing, but for a reason. So, yeah, Minnesota's favored by 1.5. This game can totally go either way. I know a lot of people are picking the Vikings to sweep the season series because the Vikings, they're good at home, and they pretty much have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They have one of the best explosive passing offenses in the NFL. So, yeah. The Packers, they're coming off 2 straight wins. So, yeah, but I'm going to take the Packers to win this matchup because the Packers should be able to split the season series. I don't see them getting swept by the Vikings 2 times in a row. And also on top of that, the Packers, they play well in the dome versus the Vikings rather than at home against Vikings because, last match when they played, the Vikings did blow them out in the first half. Then the Packers, spoiled that comeback as well. I don't see the same thing happening. I think the Packers offense should be able to have some time. Jordan Love should have some time. I think offensively they'll move the ball. I mean, they'll create some explosive plays, and maybe they'll get Reed going. If Watson's healthy, maybe you'll get him going. Kraft going, they'll get him going. And I feel like the defense should be able to get after Sam Darnold and all that. And if Jair plays, I feel like their defense can find a way to at least like cover against Justin Jefferson, because I feel like without Jair Alexander, I don't think nobody else in that secondary can cover him. So yeah. So I think the defense, I feel like this game will be close. I feel like it could be low scoring a little bit, but I'm gonna take the Packers to win this game. I'm gonna say like 23-20. Maybe they win by a field goal. Maybe they win by a touchdown. Maybe they win by a defense getting a stop. So yeah, I like the Packers both ways. I like the Packers to win. I like the Packers to cover. So yeah, I mean I like the Packers here in this matchup. I don't know why, because I feel like Minnesota is going to be due for a loss, because I feel like the Vikings were so lucky to be on a winning streak after losing back-to-back games. So I think this is a game where Minnesota slips and lose. So I like the Packers here. Next game, we have the Sunday night game. We have the Atlanta Falcons versus the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders are favored by 3.5. Obviously, this is another game that can go either way. Now, this is both rookie quarterbacks playing against each other. Now, sadly, it won't be Kirk Cousins. So, yeah. So, basically, the game should go either way. Atlanta came off a big win against the Giants, and Washington did come off a close win against the Falcons. Obviously, the game's in Washington on a prime time at home, because I don't think Washington ever had a Sunday Night Football. Like I feel like the last time they had a Sunday Night Football was since like 2020, I believe. So yeah, it was 2020. So yeah, um, so this is kind of a tough. This could go either way. This could be a toss up, because I feel like if Atlanta wins this game and Tampa loses, I feel like Atlanta can totally clinch that division. But if they lose and Tampa Bay wins, I feel like Tampa Bay wins the division. So yeah, so either way how it goes. But ultimately, this is going to be a close game. Both defenses are not great, but I'm going to go with Washington to win, because Washington's at home. They got the better quarterback, and I think their coaching's better. And I feel like Dan Quinn will find a way to get his defense going. I feel like he'll find a way to at least like confuse Michael Penix and all that, give him a tough time. And I feel like Terry McLaurin could be too much for the Falcons secondary to handle. And I don't think the Falcons have much of a pass rush to get after Jaden Daniels, especially Jaden Daniels, one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the NFL. And maybe they get Brian Robinson going. I feel like he can have a good game as well. So I feel like Washington's offense is just going to be too much there for the Falcons defense to handle. So yeah, so either way it goes, I will take Washington to win this game. But in terms of the spread points, I'll take Atlanta with the points, because I feel like Atlanta will do enough to cover this game. I feel like Washington can totally win by a touchdown, which I think they will, though, because Washington's really good on offense, putting together game-winning drives, scoring on game-winning drives. So I'm probably going to say Washington wins like 27-20 or like 34 to like 27, something like that. But I feel like this could totally be a defensive game too. So yeah, so either way, I like Washington to win this game, so that way they can clinch a playoff berth. But I'll take Atlanta with the points. And then last game, we had the Detroit Lions against the San Francisco 49ers. Detroit is favored by 3.5. This is another game that can go either way. Now, San Francisco did get eliminated from the playoffs after losing to the Dolphins, and the Lions are totally on a hot streak. They're coming off a big win against the Bears. But obviously, I think this game right here could totally be close and competitive like last time. Now, depending on how well the Niners offense is going to play, because I feel like if the Niners offense can show up in this game, I feel like there's a chance the Niners can totally keep this close, and maybe they can pull off an upset. But at the same time, the Niners are totally not looking good as an offense. They're struggling right now. I mean, they've been sloppy. And the Detroit Lions, they're just on a roll right now. So the Niners defense is totally one of the best, especially against the pass, which I think they're ranked second. So yeah, maybe the Niners can totally get their offense going. So I like San Francisco to keep it close, but I like them with the points here. But I will take the Lions to win because they have more to play for, and the Niners don't because they're going to be playing for next year because they're not going to make the playoffs this year. And the Lions looking to clinch that top seed in the NFC, and they're the more complete team. They pretty much have a better quarterback as well, and they're pretty much more healthier, which I don't really know because the Lions got too many injuries on defense. And they'll run the ball better in the Niners because the Niners' run game has been a disaster, especially with the injuries they have on offense, especially with CMC being out, Jordan Mason being out, and Isaac Guerrero. I don't know if he's playing. I mean, the Niners' run offense has been a disaster because the injuries at running back with their injuries kept woeing them. A running back room was woeing injuries. So yeah, I feel like the Niners can find a way to keep it close this game as long as they can show up though. But the Lions, they're just a better team. I know it's in San Francisco, but the Niners are just the Lions are just a better team right now. And they're playing better football right now. So, yeah. And they pretty much have a better offense, the much more healthier offense. So, yeah. I take the Lions to win this game, but I'll take the Niners to cover. Maybe they win by one score. Who knows? I'm probably going to say the Lions win like 30-23 or like maybe 28-21, something like that. So, yeah. I take the Lions to win and the Niners to cover. Well, those are all my Week 17 picks for this week. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. So, yeah. So, this is Emmanuel Jones from Big Fan. Don't forget, feel free to also like and subscribe to my channel, and you can see more of my NFL Weekly picks. So, yeah. So, this is Emmanuel Jones, Big Fan again. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.